A show created by the fans, for the fans. We are your home for Ohio State football coverage all year long. The Scarlet and Gray Podcast, a Network 216 production. Live weekdays on the Network 216 YouTube channel. Send us all your questions and comments on Twitter at @VSG_podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Tyler Johnson, Jordan Dalton, and Nick Leisure.
Good morning, Buckeye fans, and welcome to episode number 29 of the Scarlet and Gray Podcast. We're back for your Ohio State game day preview. I am Tyler Johnson, joined as always by Nick Leisure and Jordan Dalton. Gentlemen, we've had a week off from Ohio State football, and we're finally back today. So how are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good, dude. I didn't have the Buckeyes to make my weekend better because you know how the Brownies did last week. But hopefully now the roles have been reversed. Browns have a bye week, and now the Buckeyes are back, and I couldn't be happier. And it's gonna be a great game today.
Yep, and just like we talked about last podcast before the Notre Dame game, that was kind of the end of our season, our national championship, so to speak. Saw a lot of good things from Ohio State, and it's a new season, and we're kicking it off with a pretty good opponent at home.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good game, and there's a lot to talk about regarding this game today. But before we do, as always, guys, be sure drop a like onto the video and subscribe if you're brand new to Network 216. Again, every time you guys like a video, it really helps that YouTube algorithm grow for us. So we really would appreciate it if you guys would do that for us. But also, if you haven't subscribed yet, we consider subscribing to the channel, which you can do for free. We are trying to reach 3,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I know we will be having a giveaway of some sort once we reach that goal. The sooner we get there, the sooner we give you guys away something awesome to thank you for supporting the channel. So go subscribe if you're brand new to Network 216. And the Scarlet and Gray Podcast and Network 216 is proud to be a partner of Homage Athletic Apparel. And right now, if you go to homage.com, you get a 15% off discount off your first order. All you have to do is type in your email address, and you can get pretty much whatever you want at 15% off your order. As you can see, happiness is being a Buckeye. The rest of us have plenty of Homage gear, even if we're not all wearing it right now. There's nothing wrong with that. We have 50-some different shirts of Homage. You guys want to make sure you take advantage. They got a lot of great tees. They actually have some that they just came out with for the Scarlet Out that they're going to have against Penn State. Yep, JD's got the sweatpants on. So go take a look at that. The Scarlet Out gear will sell out very quickly, I promise you. So go take a look at what Homage has to offer. Again, that's homage.com.
There's not a single day that goes by that I don't wear Homage.
Love it.
Not a single day.
I feel like that's the same for me for the most part.
If I'm not wearing it in the outfit, I'm wearing it to sleep.
I love it. Absolutely love the dedication. I'll say this, guys. The Buckeyes, on paper, Maryland is coming to town, and Maryland is 5-0 right now. Ohio State's 4-0. Buckeyes are coming off a huge win against Notre Dame. They had a bye week after that, which I think came at a really good time. But first off, before we get into the game today, so here's the opponents that Maryland has played. This is the reason that they are not ranked to this point. They have played Towson. They beat 38-6. They played Charlotte. They beat 38-20. They played Virginia. They beat 42-14. They went to Michigan State and destroyed the Spartans 31-9. But we know that Michigan State is in all sorts of influx right now after the Mel Tucker firing. And they beat Indiana 44-17. So what I have to ask you guys, because I think it is a fair question, do you think Maryland is a team that is good enough to challenge for a Big Ten title, or is this more, so far, they have not really played anybody of note that is remotely considered an elite team in college football?
You want to go, Jordan? You want me to take it first?
You take it.
I mean, do I think they're good enough to compete for a Big Ten title? No. But I think they're in the upper half of the Big Ten for sure. But they're not like quite at like I think there's only 3 teams that really are going to compete for the Big Ten title. I mean, realistically, but I think Maryland's definitely up there. They've gotten better over the years, but I mean, they're not at the elite level yet. But they're a really solid team. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them finishing the year with 3 losses, probably Ohio State, Michigan, and another team when there will beat them. Do they play Penn State this year?
I do believe that. They do. They play them November 4th, but they get them at home. They actually get Michigan at home too.
I think
they're going to be close.
Yeah, I mean, they could. I haven't. Their offense is really good, and they put up a lot of points. And in college football, that matters.
Yeah,
a lot more than it should, but it does, just because defenses aren't as good. And I mean, you just take an example of Colorado. Colorado doesn't have a defense. USC doesn't have a defense, and they both do pretty well just because they can score points. And I think Maryland with Tua's brother, they've kind of found something. He's been there for a few years now, and they've really got some weapons. I knew a couple years ago we were really like looking at Maryland as a team that could potentially be a contender in the Big Ten. And they kind of never took that next step, but this year they definitely have the offense to do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, they got a really good offense. And like you said, JD, they are led by Talia, Tua's younger brother. I never can pronounce the last name correctly, so I'm not going to try. But he's having a great year so far. I mean, he's got nearly 1,500 yards, completing 65% of his passes, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, only been sacked 3 times. He adds something to the run game from time to time. He does have 14 rushes this year. Not a ton of yards, but he still has 3 touchdowns on the ground. This Maryland offense has a good amount of talent on it. So this brings us to what I think the battle is today. Can Ohio State's defense contain this Maryland? Because I don't think you're going to shut them down, because I do think Maryland has one of the better offenses in the Big Ten. But do you guys think this Buckeye defense can at least rattle Talia in this game? Because obviously he is a 5th-year senior. He's got a ton of experience. Think of Sam Hartman is what Talia is, except obviously more mobile, but he's been around for a while. So how do you like the Buckeyes defense going up against this Maryland offense today?
I think they answered a lot of questions against Notre Dame that we weren't sure if they were going to be able to hang with Sam Hartman, with the experience, with the passing game, the running game of Notre Dame. Notre Dame had that stable running backs, and Ohio State really hung in there until about late second half was when we were kind of getting worn out, just because we had been on the field. The offense hadn't scored a lot. But they really have taken the next step that we've talked about on this show, wanting to see them take in Jim Knowles' defense, because last year it was his first year. There was flashes, but a lot of the players didn't look comfortable with the scheme. This year, it's completely different. Everybody is on the same page on that defense, and I expect nothing less than what we saw at Notre Dame this previous game. So I think they're going to be able to contain him and allow that offense to kind of continue to score points for us.
I'm going to kind of give a little bit of a hot take. I think this is going to be a way better offense than we saw with Notre Dame, in my opinion. I feel like Notre Dame just tried to out-physical the Buckeyes. They didn't really let Hartman kind of sling it all over the place. They were really trying to get Estime going. I think Maryland's going to be a lot different. I think they're going to try to take the deep shots, and they're going to try to get big plays. It's not like Western Kentucky where their pass game is an extension of the run game. They're trying to hit short stuff. Maryland wants big plays, I think Maryland's passing offense is going to be better than the one we saw with Notre Dame. And Talia makes me nervous. I mean, for example, last year, Buckeyes were down 13-10 at halftime in this game.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I mean, these Maryland games have been really close for the most part. So, I mean, I really hope that they can contain Talia, but I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm pretty nervous about today.
Hey, no, I get it because I mean, when you look at this Maryland offense, it goes as Talia goes. I mean, and same thing with Sam Hartman though with Notre Dame, but you're kind of right, Nick. Notre Dame, I don't know why they didn't really try and take any shots down the field, and like you said, they clearly were just trying to out-physical Ohio State because they know Ohio State struggles with that. So, but Maryland's not going to do that. Maryland's going to try and hit some big plays against this defense. And so far, this Buckeye defense hasn't given them up really all year. This could be the game where they might give up one because Maryland has got some talented wide receiver. I mean, if you look at it, their leading receiver is Jay Sean Jones, but Tyre Felton, Caden Prather, Corey Dyches at tight end, Octavian Smith. I mean, those are all guys that have at least over 100 receiving yards. Like, he spreads the ball around to a lot of targets. I don't think this is going to be Ohio State's defense shutting them down. I think they're going to get some stops when it matters, but I think Maryland's going to put up some points today. I do. I think that offense is – I think it's good. Even though they have not played, again, a high level of competition, they have proven in the past that they can score against Ohio State. And, yeah, this isn't the same – technically the same defense, not all the same players, but they've proven they have the success against Ohio State. So, I don't know. I'm a little nervous about it too, I have to admit.
I mean, I know I shouldn't be, but I still am. And obviously Vegas isn't nervous about the game today. I mean, I think we're at 19 points favored today. So that's a big cushion.
Yeah. No,
I really
absolutely.
think one of the things that I don't know, I haven't really heard it talked about other than I think we talk about it a lot more than most people, but that last drive that Kyle McCord had is, I think that's just going to be just a catalyst for this offense going forward. I don't think we're going to see week 1 through 3 Kyle McCord ever again. I think that was kind of like his coming out party, and it's his offense for sure. And there was just, I know we weren't really into this conversation yet, but I think this is going to be a completely different Ohio State team than we've seen in the first 4 weeks. I truly do.
I like it. I hope you're right. And that actually, you actually brought it into the next really good point because we talked the defense a little bit. On the offensive side of the ball, do you expect Ryan Day to swing it around, or are we going to go back to the run game that was really successful with Notre Dame with Travion Henderson? He said he wants to get Mayan Williams more, which I thought was kind of interesting that he singled out Mayan Williams in particular, wants to get him more involved. How do you see it working out today? Do you think it's going to be – do you think they're going to air it out against this Maryland defense, or do you think they're going to try and out-physical them?
I don't think you need to be exclusively run or pass. And I think Ryan Day kind of gets in these modes where he's like, we're going to run the ball or we're going to throw the ball, and then you're throwing on first. You don't get a completion. You throw on second. It's short.
Then it's third and long.
And then now you're throwing again because you're not going to run on 3rd and 7 or whatever. So I think if he sticks to being not just focusing on, I got to get Travion on the ball, I got to get Mayan on the ball, but just let Kyle McCord kind of spread the ball around and then hit him within the offense. He likes to not call plays that make sense in the moment. And it's kind of like he thinks he's like outsmarting the defensive coordinator for the other team. Like, oh, he's not expecting me to do this right now. Let's do it. Yeah. And it's just doesn't ever make sense for the situation. Like, I don't know. Like,
he can definitely come off as being very cocky. Like,
100%.
You're exactly right, Jordan. It's like, oh, it's 3rd and 7. I'm gonna run a zone to the left side, even though it's the short side of the field, but they're not expecting because they think we're going to throw it.
They're not expecting it because it's 3rd and 7, and then it's a 2-yard game. They're like, dude.
Yeah, it's like, come on. No, I think
unreal.
you're right, Jordan. I think you just gotta within the offense. I think you have to be aggressive, though. I mean, coming off of a bye week, I think you just really getting into the. I mean, now it's the home stretch. I mean, I know it's only week 5, but it's the home stretch now. So we gotta go, and we gotta get better every week. And I think you just gotta let Kyle do his thing. I know it was probably the bye week came at a great time, especially for Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Just because of that ankle. And I know reports came out the other day. He said that the ankle injury is actually worse than the one he played with last year, but we had the bye week, so he's going to power through, and that'll be something to keep an eye on. But no, I think the offense will be fine. No, I mean Maryland's defense is better than it has been in the past, but I think you're right. I think this offense is just ready to rumble. I mean, I think it's going to be. It could get high scoring today.
I feel like we're at that point, though. We haven't seen our offense against a good opponent put up a lot of points. We saw it against Western Kentucky. Felt really good, but the Notre Dame game was completely different. That was just a barn burner all around. It feels like this offense is ready to explode, though. I feel like we're going to have a couple games here in this stretch before we have Penn State next week, right?
Nope, Purdue. And then Penn State at home.
Yeah. So we have a couple games in between Notre Dame and Penn State where this offense can really, really take that explosive step and really get their points on the board. So I think we're going to see a lot of points for Ohio State today.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And so like Nick said, the Buckeyes are 19.5-point favorites in this game. I have to admit, I thought it would be a little closer, but it is what it is. So it looks like that the over-under is 57.5.
I think Ohio State will get that by themselves.
Ooh,
I really do, man.
Okay, well you lead us.
I know.
You lead us in then.
I know we're not getting. Do you want me to get the prediction right now? I mean,
do they cover this? Do they cover the spread? And obviously, prediction, yeah.
Well, I think they cover the spread. It's a lot of points. I think they're going to cover the spread.
Okay.
Am I giving my score prediction right now too?
Might as well.
Crap. Perfect. I think Buckeyes are going to score 56. Maybe they're not going to get to the 57.5. I think they're going to score 56. I'm going to say like 56, 24, around there. I think Maryland gets a field goal, but they're definitely going to score. And I feel like Maryland scores early, and then Buckeyes dial it in late. But I think Maryland scores early and kind of puts the Buckeyes on the ropes. But Ohio State always responds in the second half. But yeah, I'm gonna go 56-24 Buckeyes.
All right, JD.
Yeah, I think I was thinking like 43-17. I don't think the defense is
going 17 would shock me.
Like shock you as being super low for Maryland.
I think Maryland's. Listen, I think
they're good.
I think that offense is pretty good.
I don't think they're that good. I'm going to be honest. I think the defense is going to play really well. I think it's going to be 43-17. Just a tough game early on, and then we kind of just. Huh?
It's homecoming this week too. Technically,
yeah. I think it might be like a 7-point game at halftime or something, like 24-17 or 17-10, and then that second half, I think we just kind of blow them out of the water. So,
well, yeah, I think last year, I think Ohio State outscored Maryland 17-0 in the third quarter. So that's really, I mean, obviously extended the lead, but.
JD, so you think they're covering that 19.5 easily?
Yeah, 43-17.
Okay. All right. I think a lot of points are going to be scored in this game. I don't think they cover 19.5. That means they're going to win by 20. I don't know if Ohio State wins by 20 in this. They're going to win. I just don't think they're going to win by 20. I got the Buckeyes at 48, and I got Maryland. Yeah. I got Buckeyes 48, and I got Maryland at 31.
Ooh.
48-31. I do think Maryland's putting up points in this game.
I will say
they normally do against Ohio State.
Yeah, but the games are normally real tight when it's at Maryland. When it's at the shoe, man, it's different, you know. And we all know that. We've all been there for a home game. Like, it's different. So
I will say this though, having a fifth year, whatever he is at quarterback, man, that helps.
Talia's awesome. I mean, he's an NFL guy. He's awesome. He's really good.
All right, gentlemen, as we're wrapping things up, anything else you want to add on this Buckeye game day before we wrap it up?
Hopefully we see a lot of points.
I just need a dub.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Absolutely. Nick, be sure to enjoy the game while you're down there.
Yeah, it should be fun.
It'll be fun. Hopefully the weather's not too bad for you.
I'm about to hit the road as soon as we get off of here, so.
Awesome. Well, guys, as a reminder, always drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're brand new to Network 216. We will be back live next week for your regular episode of the Scarlet and Gray podcast. We just didn't have it this week just because of the bye week. But anyway, we really appreciate all of you guys that tune in every single week, especially these Buckeye Game Day previews. They've been doing really well, so we appreciate you guys tuning in for those because, honestly, the reason we do them is because we know that you like them and have an interest in seeing them every Saturday morning. So thank you guys all for your support. Can't wait to talk to you guys all again next week. And as always, go Buckeyes.